show me what you got. Down, up, back, up, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, up, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, up, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, up, God. Ain't no reason to back down, so step it up. God, down, up, back, up, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, up, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, up, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, up, God.
Got the money in the bank. Hit you with the. Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the. Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the. Hit you with the 808. Bang to the break. Bang to the break. Bang to the break. Bang, 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 bang. I'm a boss and you know that I'm finna shine. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank. Bank, 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 bank. Got the money in the bank.
Hit you with the 808.
Hit you with the. Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the. Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the. Hit you with the 808. Bang to the break. Bang to the break. Bang to the break. Bang, 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 bang. I'm a boss and you know that I'm finna shine. Got the money.
me what you got.
Oh, but he's got a rocket. Oh, he got one. And he gets another.
Flicks.
And four
Behind him.
more.
Oh,
Are
get
you
the
kidding
ace.
me?
4
Of
kills.
course, they're big time advantage on offense here, but Josh RT is charging out. He gets 1 kill. Some assists until they find the second finds one, though. In fact, 2 more going down on the side of 100 Thieves. Got a 2 versus 2. Phoenix flash out, though. Maybe trying to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of the initial hole, but Exalt cleans up 3.
All 3 of them getting the frags needed, but Mac is still around the corner with a lock.
Lucky, get that ult charged up, and he might just get it. Well, there's the guarantee
Wait.
neural theft into the next
Wait.
round. Cole,
Oh, look at that Molly coming in from hell too. Good lineup. Hayes just drops on in, takes down both Saw and Ryan, and he's so ready. Head on a swivel, make it a 4th. Come on, just get the ace. You know where the last person is. Go for the wide swing. Hey.
every single ultimate charged up, and we know Crashies loves to play this position. Crashies knocks down 2. He may as well just get the...
They're starting to tap it, right? Nitro's on it right now. It's through the smokes. Dicey goes in, gets 2, 3 on the red. Through that double stack there, understanding that that's where they wanted to play it, but beats advantage that a rifle has it, you don't. Nitro's there too. Nitro with 1, Nitro with 2. Critical. He's so steady in moments that his team needs.
Sky.
Oh, they're
Now
not
Booth
checking.
a nice again. It was once in market, now once in mid. Booth finds 3, and he's looking for more. They are looking to pick up this round, yes.
It's all Sean. Yeah.
Comfortable shots from Quinn as he finds a 3rd one here, looking to find a couple more. Make it! Takes so much damage. 1 HP on the Jet. A Dream as well.
Tucks himself into market, but his teammates are falling apart now. It's all on him in the 1 versus 3. He has found A's, but they're defusing the spike as he's having to fend off against Sabrosa. He's not probably going to get here in time, or does he? He's in what side the will be coming from, but he draws him out anyway. Food will now stick with the fuse. Doesn't have the time to do it. It's going to be down to the wire, but he just gets it, and that's Renegade's gone from...
Available. Spike is just gonna go down in time. This is an
Happen. Graced up there. Oh, Dicey.
my God, J-Mo, the champion of this one.
Oh, Asano! He gets the triple off the rocket. It's a 4.
Welcome everybody to more Valorant action. Today we have an immense best of 5 coming your way. This is the Valorant Challengers Stage 2 Grand Finals. It's best of 5. I can't really wrap my head around this, Sean. How are you doing today going into the NV Sentinels game?
Dude, it's been a crazy morning, and this best of 5 is definitely going to make things a little bit more insane for us. I'm pretty stoked because this is a different format than we've previously seen in best of 5s. They were running me back on it. I'm not sure. Have you gotten a chance to look over it?
No, not yet.
Yeah. So the format is going to be where Sentinel's just going to get to choose the first map. And I think in the past, Envy would have gotten to ban one. So that kind of puts a wrench in things for Envy. Now, what I will say is they're going to immediately get to do the same thing right back to Sentinels. They're going to pick a map out of the remaining, what is it, 4 left. So both teams are in a good spot. Envy is going to start the best of 5 with a 1-0 advantage. And this is going to be insane. I think we have an opportunity to go the distance.
Oh, for sure. And it's kind of amazing too, because both of these teams are coming in with incredible form. I don't think either one of them has really shown any signs of weakness or slowing down at this point. And it's, again, we use the analogy of just these unstoppable trains. Well, I feel like Envy and Sentinels are both those things. So someone's going to get wrecked in this grand finals, but it's really hard to pin down as to like who is that going to be and what's it going to look like in terms of, you know, as this goes across, you know, map to map to map. I mean, Sean, just thinking about the maps that we will be getting, is there any map in particular that you're particularly excited for, given the form that we've seen from these teams so far in this tournament?
So I'm gonna go ahead and drop a stat real quick on you, Dan. So I was looking at the maps, and so far this year, Sentinels. Do you know what their record is on Haven?
It's really good, isn't
really
it? That
good.
They haven't lost.
15-0 on Haven in 2021. They are really good on the map. Envy doesn't really play it, so we're likely going to see that as the first map. And then Envy's going to do the same thing right back to Sentinels. Sentinels doesn't play Bind. Envy plays a ton of Bind. They're incredibly good at it. I think they have like an 80% win rate on Bind. So the first two maps seem like they're going to be a wash. And then when you get to the last two maps, that's when the series is going to heat up. I think we're going to end up in a scenario where Envy's going to be up 2-1 after, like, you know, they trade their maps. And it's going to be so insane at that point. I don't know who's going to take Split, Ascent, you know, Icebox. It could be any of the two. It could be, you know, any of those maps. I don't know how the veto is going to play out because both these teams are really strong on those three maps. And it's just the tail end of this series is going to be incredible.
For sure. I'm totally with you there. There's so much to talk about. But let's remind people as to exactly how the format works with this explainer.
Welcome to the Valorant Champions Tour, a year-long tournament circuit featuring the best players and teams from all over the world, culminating in a global championship event, Valorant Champions. Each stage begins with Challengers, where teams compete in regional tournaments for a place at Masters. Teams who compete in Masters events will earn points that help them qualify for Champions. And Champions is where the best teams from around the world compete on a global stage, where the art of greatness is on full display. And one team will be crowned 2021 Valorant Champions.
As you can see, so much awesome Valorant action in store. It feels like, you know, we're in this world where we will get that international LAN at some point. That's obviously what this is all building towards, having that, you know, inter-regional battle that we've wanted to see for so long. So just that prospect is something to give you, you know, nerd chills alone. But let's check out the bracket and see how the action has unfolded thus far at the Valorant Challengers Stage 2. We've had, of course, Envy on the upper bracket just making a hell of a run. And in fact, they did knock Sentinels down, you know, previously in the tournament. Is there anything else from this upper bracket, Sean, that you want to talk about?
I think it seems like almost all chalk, right? Like you would expect Sentinels to beat FaZe, you would expect Envy to beat Exit, you would expect Immortals to take out Gen G right there. The one that really is tricky is 100 Thieves falling to LG. But LG has had this insane run of form lately, particularly like this year. You know, I believe they just signed Moose finally, and your boy Trey into some contracts. Those guys look insane. They look really, really good as an up-and-coming team in the scene. And I think in the future, we're going to have to look out for them. That's what I would take away from this bracket.
Yeah, it's been really great to see so much progress from so many of these lineups. I think a lot of people have been counting them out, and it's really hard as well in Valorant because we don't have a huge amount of volume in terms of games played and tournaments played compared to some other games like CS, where you can get this constant, you know, finger on the pulse as to how these teams are developing. But, and as we can see, as you've mentioned, there's so much growth that's happening. And what's really interesting too is, you know, just, you know, meta to meta shift, you know, who is managing to stay on top. And I think that's really what is so awesome with Sentinels and Envy, because as you said, 100 Thieves, a team that's very tactical, very strategic, very experienced, although, you know, still pretty new, but they did, of course, come off of the first strike win. They're a team that, you know, did fall, you know, to some of the variants to perhaps the meta shift. And Sentinels and Envy, on the other hand, two teams that have been the rocks of the North American scene. Ultimately, you know, TSM's up there as well, but even, you know, TSM, you know, struggling to find their and be in this playoff bracket. So it's really good to see, you know, Sentinels and Envy, you know, managing to have that consistent storyline all the way through here to face up in this best of 5. I feel like there's no other team that could match up against one another other than these two teams right now. So this is an amazing matchup, and as you can see here, the two lineups, there is just so much skill and experience on the server right now.
There really is, and you could see, you know, the parallels between the teams with, you know, the Oppers, the Jet Oppers, and Mame and Shaz. But they're actually very different. You'll see Mame play a lot of Omen. You'll see Shaz sometimes play Breach. So these teams, even though they're constructed with like the IGL, the Opper, the way they function is so different, with Shaz being the IGL Opper on Jet. Whereas when you look at Envy, you see FNS, who's playing the super passive Cypher role and allows all of his teammates to shine.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see, you know, how the teams have been molded around those two individuals. It's also been cool to see just how adaptable everybody has to be. So you will see, you know, players having to, you know, change things up. You know, Sick, for example, we just saw him there on the Sage. He's had quite the journey with Sage over the multiple kind of nerfs Sage has received, but, you know, still finding ways to really make Sage work. And we saw that really, you know, come into play yesterday on Split, so I can't wait to see more of that. There's just so much to get into with these individuals, and of course Envy with just really amazing individuals too. Can never count them out. Of course, that amazing clutch there from Caboose with the Stinger, you know, just showing just how the versatility of these players. They all seem to have a really good awareness of the timings, the micro timings of this game, the make and break timings of this game. And I think that's something you were talking about yesterday, Sean, being an X factor for Sentinels. But you know, with that said, are Envy a team that are going to be able to deal better than Immortals did with the kinds of rotations we're going to see from a team like Sentinels mid-round?
I think so. I think Envy will stand a better chance. But with that being said, the game becomes, in my opinion, easier to read if you're a Sentinels player. I mean, Envy is so much more structured when I look at them on a bigger picture when you compare them to Immortals. So it should be easier for them to read. And here's the picks. Yeah. It's kind of what we expected. Haven and Bind are going to lead the series, but then Split and Icebox to close it out. So if we go to a 5th map, we're going to get Icebox, Dan. Are you ready?
I am ready for this, man. It's kind of exactly as you described, though. You know, it's going to start off, we expect, you know, the two strongest maps for each team respectively. You know, Haven there for Sentinels, Bind coming in for Envy. To be somewhat of a, you know, maybe a warm-up match for these two teams to kind of get those out of the way with. But yeah, the Icebox finish is really interesting. I think both teams have shown a lot of great stuff on it. I've been impressed by both. I think it's hard to really edge anybody out here for me still. I'm trying to find that argument to feel like I should lean one way or the other, but this is a really 50-50 for me. I think I'm looking most forward to Split. How about you?
I think so too. When these two teams match up, it just feels like Sentinels they struggle a little bit, because you can tell Envy when they came into the scene, when they picked up Food and Crashies, when they brought in FNS and they created this entire structured team, they looked at Sentinels as a blueprint, what was working back then. So they are insanely familiar with what Sentinels likes to do and their strengths. And because of that, I think this matchup is always going to be really difficult for Sentinels.
Well, here we go. We are about to kick off this grand finals, this best of 5 affair between Sentinels and Envy, the clash of the Titans. I think it's fair to say that there's no two teams that could really, at this point in time in North America, give us as good of a matchup as we're about to see. And to kick things off, Sean, we've got the picks. It looks like a fast lock-in coming in from Sentinels. Is it all looking, you know, par for the course right now for you?
I think so, yeah. Sick being on Phoenix. We see that quite a bit from him on Haven. Obviously, Dapper's going to be on Cypher, Shaz on Jet. Everything looks pretty normal on Sentinels. And on the other side for Envy, I mean, it kind of looks normal, but they don't play a lot of Haven. So anything they pick right here, Sentinels probably isn't super prepared for. There's not much footage of Envy. I think, you know, Sentinels is just going to likely play their game.
Hey, well, it certainly works for them. They're such an adaptable team. Again, we always talk about their mid-rounding, and for people that are familiar with the Counter-Strike scene, you know, I think, you know, Fnatic were a team that really made themselves known for that, and they could always get themselves out of any kind of tricky position because of that skill. And Sentinels really reminds me of that team that just will always find something if they can create some chaos, even if they're down in a disadvantage. So long as there's space open on the map in the mid round, they're going to find ways to work with those timings and rotations to find some kind of advantage to get themselves back in it. So it's really cool to see them picking to comfort. I don't think that really there's too much to say about in terms of the agent picks. It does feel pretty vanilla, pretty standard at this point. I'm definitely going to have my eyes on Caboose and Food here for Envy. As the duelists, as you'd expect. I think there's a lot for them to do at in a game like Haven.
Indeed, yeah.
Here we go.
I think the lack of a Jet on Envy's team and Moment on the Omen could hurt them. It's kind of hard to get the operator activated when you play Omen on Haven. It's much more suited for a Jet player. So we'll see how that plays out throughout this map.
Standing ahead.
Arrow right to the back of tree there, a lobby. Getting the early information. And it looks like a C-split is on the cards here for Sentinels to kick things off. And we actually do have players in position for this. Very fast rotation. This is going to be a little bit crazy. Frenzy's out, of course. And we can see that Envy managing to hold on to backside with finesse there. So this is about to get very crazy. Everybody now suddenly available to be shot here as the vision is restored. And when all is said and done, the dust has settled. It's just one left now for Sentinels. Man, it's like just witnessing a death match.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. You could see Sentinels was planning to push through the cage, go to back site, but Envy actually beat them to it. They pushed the opposite side of the site, flanked Sentinels in the midst of their plan, and it created utter chaos. Dapper now probably just waiting for this Reyna overheal to fade away, and then he's going to flank through B. It's still such a hard clutch, though. I mean, I know he has a Frenzy, 100 HP. Both these players also have full HP, though.
30 seconds left.
Dapper does manage to find a lot of crazy edges where you don't expect him to find it, but as you say, it's looking rather grim. Nice setup hit, forced to kill the cam, and really, as you say, nothing he can do in that kind of a spot, but he gave it the old college try either way. That's the 1-0 start for Envy on the defender side. But of course, even though the spike didn't go down, we could very well see a lot of firepower coming out from Sentinels. We'll have a look and see what they decide to do. Will we see some stingers here? Or will they opt to go for the save?
Yesterday, we saw them save on this second round. More than any other team I've seen in this tournament, Sentinels has opted to not buy the stingers on the second round after losing pistols. And so far, it hasn't burned them. So they're going to full save here, allow Envy to take this round. But, okay, you could just bunny hop out of the window, take out Food. We're in a 4-on-4, though.
Mummy, there was some extra pressure from Garage. Is going to be able to at least get one kill back, and I like this from Envy. They're not losing any confidence, still keeping the pressure on around mid, looking to use those ranges to their advantage. Perhaps also being familiar that, as you say, Sentinels of any team is going to be the one that will probably go for some of these saves. Oh, nice transfer from Crashies. He's awake today. And that's the 2-0 for Envy in the bag.
Yeah, I think Crashies has been one of the most pleasant surprises I've seen in the pro scene in the last couple of months. He definitely had tons of impact when he was on T1, but since joining Envy, it seems like he's been able to choose his roles, and just how he's fallen into this Sova role is so amazing to see. He's taking over almost every game I watch for Envy.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's been amazing to see his versatility. I think he's been very impressive.
We can breathe for a second here, Dan. This is a slow default coming out of Envy. You can see Zombs holding the C push, smoking top C to deny info. And they're working up front B very quickly, actually. Sick is in this. He's walked into the site.
Oh, man. Talk about timings. Sick, as you say, a really forward positioning. Not expected. Food, though, able to take advantage of Sinatra. Also unexpected position for his opponent. So some give and take it, but Envy certainly in a difficult spot. The spike is now planted. Envy looking to see what they can do to recover this. They have managed to find a round at the back of B here. Nice flash coming through from Food, trying to take control of the site. But it's not just the site control that's important here. We can see Zoms on that lurk back window, looking to keep the pressure on. There's the hot hands, though. That's going to delay things. The TP has to come through. Is there a denial here from Zoms? Looks for the transfer, although Food is going to have his number. Very, very, very close. And man, Sean, that looked like you know, Sentinels understood that Envy were not going to play anyone B at the early timing. Is that some, you know, that's got to be some studying happening right there.
Yeah, that's insane. I think they felt the pressure of the A push. They felt the deep smoke A come in. They felt, you know, the Reyna getting close, and they just recognized that B would likely be open. Like you said, this seems like an anti-strat. It's a very interesting tactic to call on the third round where you have, you know, massive advantage with, you know, your weaponry. So here, Sentinels actually rebuying into Stingers, and they're going to try to make this round super chaotic.
It's not quite as quick as the previous round in terms of that, you know, gaining that position towards the B site, but oh, well, hold that thought. We do have a drone coming through from Envy. They're looking to see if they can find some information on a lobby and able to dodge that drone. Now walking behind, and Food will spot that, and the rotation is able to come in to a degree. Obviously, Envy don't want to overreact here. But two players there shoring up the short defense. Who the one to make first contact?
Oh no, Dan.
Oh, pops the running back. This is very scary. It's a massive bait though for Crashies, who's going to take down two, and they're still going to hold on to position for now. But there comes the flank up the long position to deal with that short setup, and Shazam is there as well, able to keep the Dream alive here on the A side as he pushes forward. Next fight though is all finesse and Caboose as Envy lock it down, but my god, that was close.
That was incredibly close to just falling to pieces for Envy. When I saw Food pop that ult, it seemed like it was all over, but it was actually one of the best bait plays I've ever seen, because everyone's going to push, you know, the Phoenix ult body. But unfortunately, they had no one holding long, so the double flank comes in, and we just go back and forth, end up in a 2-on-2, and that's where Envy can manage to close it out. But wow, that was way closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I just honestly just laughing at how massive of a bait that is. Like, it's such a, he was not going to fall for that. Beautiful stuff. Oh, we've got, you know, the work through the cage there on long. Dapper looking for a fast timing. Able to take down the drone, which is always nice. Caboose caught. Actually, not going to get fragged, but down to 35 health. At least he's on the Reyna, but that's not fun.
But that's a huge win for Zoms. He's sitting here holding the C push every round. And already at round 5, he's punished someone for pushing C. So likely, you know, he's tamed that for the next several rounds. The A hit is in. There's 3 Envy players here. They're reading this so well, man.
Yeah, they've got a great timing. There's the flash play to try to deal with the long play first from Sentinels. And that is going to go very well. So stage 1 complete. Now it's just about dealing with the short attack. And so far, so good, because they have this long position to work from. So it really creates a lot of problems here. The Sentinels as they try to work their way through. Just down to 2 players now against the 4 Envy defenders who are sitting in position. They don't have to do very much. The spike is down on the ground, and it's up to Sentinels to figure out how the hell they find their way back onto picking up the spike and then finding a way to plant it. It's a lot to do. There is a smoke available now from Zoms. I wonder if he'll try to find a spot for that. There we go. Dark cover comes through, but I think that's from the defenders of Envy. And Sick is not going to find anything here off of Zoms dying. Looks like he's just going to have to go for a save in this spot or try to do some damage. It's really well played by Envy. As you said, Sean, the timing was immaculate.
Just an absolutely beautiful round by Envy, because you could see what they were going for. They send Caboose down C, and once they realize Zoms is on top that box deep C, they recognize, okay, this is just the default. They're just spreading the map, and we have a lot of time before Sentinels hits the C site. If the guy holding C is on that box by their spawn, you know, we can essentially evacuate the C site for the next 30 seconds. And that's what they did. They kept 3 people in A on a 3 bomb site map. I mean, they had 3 of players in 1 site. They were all over that hit from Sentinels. And again, they have 3 people on C ready for a C hit. Oh my goodness, Envy is so well prepared.
Ahead of the game right now, reading everything. Sentinels, the picture book. We'll see what they can do here. Just forcing their way through. Shazam with the knives out. Just desperately trying to updraft, but unable to find any love with that. Sentinels really on the struggle bus at the moment. They're trying to hold on to this position, but at the backside, Envy are still holding on to a line of defense that looks very difficult to deal with, and indeed, it's going to be good enough, and it's never going to be really, truly challenged by Sentinels. They barely got to a position where they could maybe plant the spike, but there was no clear at all of the site. And as you say, Sean, amazing reads from Envy. They've just guessed it right every single time.
Yeah, it's like they know the calling patterns on Sentinels, right? Like they just felt the A hit coming on the first round, and then they knew they shut that down so well. This is likely to be a C hit, so let's stack C for the first, several seconds of the round. And sure enough, I mean, they just go right into it.
It was really just that B walk that we saw from a B contact that we saw from Sentinels that was the only thing that really caught Envy off guard so far. But going into the next round, we'll have to see if there's anything here doing for Sentinels in terms of a mix-up that may be able to catch Envy off guard. Envy not really having any presence right now on the C side, very grouped towards the mid bomb sites.
Oh, this certainly feels like a B hit. And again, Envy's all over it. Like you said, no one's even on C. No one's looking at C. There's not a cam on C. There's not a trip on C. There's nothing. Envy is feeling this out so well. You can see they're even playing full retake on A.
This is kind of Galaxy Brain, isn't it, from Envy right now? It's predicting everything. Now it's just about defending, and you can predict everything, but you have to hit the shots at the same time. You get a trade coming through onto that B-side attack. Sentinel's still looking to try to get to grips with this, but nice play, Mummy and Food. Food dropping the run it back there to make life even more difficult here for Sentinels, who are now stuck outside the site. They've lost control of the spike, so they're committed into this B site somehow. It's looking very difficult because Envy have everything to try to defend this with. Drone goes through for that extra bit of info. Food there, able to deal with Zombs, and there's just no way Sinatra is going to try to get through, but he will also run into the brick wall that is Food.
Whew. This is why we play the games, Dan. I said that this would go easily to Sentinels. Look at this game so far that Envy has put together. I mean, this is insane. This is insane. Sentinels, if you guys weren't here at the start of the stream, they are 15-0 on Haven this year. 15-0. They are now down 0-7. Like, this is incredible gameplay coming out of Envy. They are predicting every round perfectly so far.
Revealing area.
It's really insane to watch. It really is. And they've got an aggressive setup here. Although it will be dealt with by Zom. So he's been very good at sort of catching aggression on C. So that's something at least. A 5v4 to work with Sick has managed to find really forward position in C window. Mummy is aware of this, but just the level of threat and the possibilities here is dangerous. There goes the wall. The flash, not really something Sick could have played off of safely. Decides to just keep himself alive. And once again, Finesse, he's been really good at holding back site. This has been key in holding these attacks on this C bomb site. However, the trades will come through. Looking really good for Sentinels, leaving just Crashies here, coming in from long. 1 versus 3. It's not an easy situation to find yourself in. Know exactly where he is. He's gonna be moving through a choke point. Players on either side. There comes the blind to make matters worse. That's gonna seal the deal. So there we go. Sentinels finally on the board with their first round.
Very nice adaptation there out of Sentinels. The second Zombs gets the frag on Caboose pushing C. Sick takes the ground in Garage, recognizing, okay, if that guy's going to push C, someone has to, pick up C in place of him. Garage is open. Such good awareness of how the rotations would operate on a map like Haven. But with that being said, they're going to have to string together rounds. One round isn't enough. They got to string together multiple rounds to break Envy's money here.
Standing ahead.
Play for the orb there. It's been good seeing, how much the orb's been prioritized for Phoenix. It does really add a lot of opportunities. Getting the run it backs in there. Oh, Crashy's actually swinging for the challenge by himself. Not sure if Sinatra was expecting that. That's a huge win, taking the Sova out of the picture on the attack that quickly. And Envy, they're going to push forwards here. Indeed, dropping that ult. Crashy's able to use the ult there to get the extra kills and keep that long position. He's found the spike as well. Desperation mode now hits for Sentinels, as everything is now known by Envy. They've got spike control as well to make matters worse. Crashies with the recon is going to spot out one player as he's to the left side. Running back here. Oh, this is going to be very difficult, and it's going to get sprayed through the smoke. Really feeling bad for Sentinels right now. Zoms was going to be able to find one, but there's a flank coming through. Finesse, of course. And oh, Mame gets himself a collat. Nice and tidy with the operator.
Oh my goodness, the confidence coming through on Envy right now. Just the way Crashies is constantly challenging Long A. They are playing like they're the team to beat in this best of 5, which is exactly what you want to see. I think we missed that in First Strike when we saw Envy play. Going into First Strike, it seemed like Envy was the best team in the NA, and they fell so flat when they had to come up big. This is the opposite. This is them showing up in a grand finals.
Yeah, it's really impressive. That confidence is causing problems. It's just this constant pressure as well, fearing that they may just peek you anywhere. And look at Boost here, looking for that defense. He is often between Long and Garage, and this time it's going to pan out that he's able to defend that Garage position, and that might force the hand of Sentinels being down in a 4 versus 5, looking to try to use what little control they have towards A. Are actually going to get onto the site. Dude, that. Oh no, this is. Oh no, Sean. This could be everything here. He is. He's on the mega trigger discipline as he creeps up, looking for more. There's the first one, the second, the third on the transfer for Food is all too easy. That patience paying dividends as Envy now only need to worry about one player, and well, he's history. Food with just such an insane round to make matters even worse for Sentinels. No, there's just nothing for them to hold on to right now.
Oh. Food let Zoms see his face before he just ruined all of his dreams. This man goes in front of Zoms and then takes out Sick and Dapper. Oh my god, it looked like Sentinels finally found a way to get back into the map. Shut down immediately by an insane trigger discipline clip coming out of Food. Jesus, highlight festival today.
Get out of my way.
Oh, for sure. Oh, a double up drop there from Shazam, or the single up drop, to try to get something to connect, but no doing there. However, Sentinels will push their way forward. Looking pretty good actually off the trades, able to take that A site. They're trying to keep things simple right now, just straight up side hits. And it may be working out for them. They should get a spike planted here. Planting under Heaven.
Spike planted.
Only 3 Envy players to worry about. There's no ultimates to speak of either. Caboose trying to edge his way forwards. Drone, though, is going to cause some problems. Will slow things down. The crossfire here between the corner and the hell position is pretty good, dealing with players coming out of spawn. Nice on the flank there from Dapper, just being responsible, doing everything quite diligently so far. Sentinels. Looks like they're going to actually pick up another round off of the very simple A push on. Just again, just keeping it simple. I feel like what they're trying to do there is trying to remove some of the variables that have been really creating problems.
I couldn't agree more. And we talked about this yesterday. Sentinels has these 2 styles. One is way more tactical. One is gloves off. We're just going to play hyper aggressive, push everything. And I think to start this match, we saw, the B strat, the A strat, the C strat. And as they started failing more and more, we're getting a more and more aggressive Sentinels. This is just them, rushing A. They don't know what else to do. But this is a style that's actually very successful for this team. So can Envy stop this, this gloves off style of the A hit?
Yeah, that's a good question. Sentinel's looking to hit it again, a little bit slower, but oh no! Crashy's timing is perfect for him, taking down Sick. Curveball on his hand. Caboose now taking down Dapper. They're not gaining the ground that they need. They may have to reset out of this. They needed to be able to get into the site off of the first engagement, but they have been slowed down and they are getting fragged out at this point. Sinatra laying down the fire there with the Hunter's Fury. Will elevate himself, but cannot dodge Crashy's Hunter's Fury as well. So that's a solid start here for Envy. 10-2. We're going to have to see what we're going to get from Sentinels. Will their streak be broken? We'll find out after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is the first map of this best of 5 grand finals between Envy and Sentinels. And Sentinels had, well, they have an unbeaten streak on Haven this year. But it's not looking good, Sean, for them to prevent that streak from getting broken right now.
No, it's definitely not looking good. Crashies and FNS are going to start over by A, and they're making heavy presence. You can see FNS caging the cross, Crashies droning, and that's going to pull a rotate. But this is a C-pop, Dan. They're all over this.
Dap is really close, though. With that shot, he's able to take down one. Trade comes through fast, though. Envy keep the train rolling. They keep all of that movement onto that C site, looking for that plant. Great spread of players there. You can see with the bird's eye camera. So I love this plant as well on the backside. Very difficult for the defenders to deal with. Sick there trying to find his way through here. Needs to find a lot of love off of the frenzy. Shazam and oh, there we go. Sentinels managed to make it happen, leaving it just down to Mummy here for Envy. And Zoms is going to be able to jiggle him with that frenzy. And the round will be secured. A must-win round for Sentinels, but you know, we're still in this Stinger buy meta, so I don't feel like really winning the pistol. It tells you too much just yet, especially given the spike plant.
But does Envy just respect the fact, you know, we have 10 rounds. We don't need this second round. Or no, Dan. They're all buying Stinger armor right now. The lead does not matter. Oh, no.
I can't believe you even left it to question, Sean.
Dan, I see 2 Ares right now on Sentinels, and all I'm thinking is those guys can't move, and the Stingers are just going to be running around them like, you know, mosquitoes. They're just going to be running all over the place.
He needs to find those ranged engagements. 3 players spotted early from Dapper's cam. Just quick jump peek there to just confirm the information. And also knowing that because they have Stingers, he's not going to take too much damage from that peek. So,
Dan, I am not peeking into 3 ADS Stingers. I don't care. those ADS Stingers, there's no way he's peeking that.
Oh, they're holding their ground. This is so scary right now.
This is going to get so epic. I would expect them to Omen smoke top C, though, before they ever go up. Surely. No.
Oh, that's huge. 5 HP. Dapper's alive. He's going to try to keep himself alive, but they are closing the distance here. This is scary. Caboose finds it with the classic for the trade. And, I mean, that's a lot of delay from Dapper. All said and done. Hopefully his teammates will be able to get there quickly. It's just down to Sick right now. Oh, I don't even know how he found that kill into Caboose, but that's a huge one to find. The Reyna is done and dusted for now. Quick recon dart to get some info, and there is where the Ares could be valuable. But Finesse, his position's gone unchecked there, see window. And that's going to be a huge problem. Cycling through from Garage, causing more problems. Finesse is the last man standing, and Shazam is just barely going to get it done with the Spectre. So Sentinels will hold on, but a spike plant, 4 kills, Sean. I don't think I don't think we're not going to see Stingers again.
Just so many. Everyone's just running with just full auto everywhere. It's so insane.
Oh, are they actually gonna? They're actually not gonna buy Stingers.
Surely not.
And just when you thought it was guaranteed.
It's actually so much
double Ares. I'm loving the double Ares. I think it's pretty genius.
Oh, this is one of the first times I've ever seen Sick not farm the orb early in the game. I think they're honestly scared of a Stinger rush still. Oh, that's an interesting dart.
I learned that dart from Liquid Jonas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like it.
Garage dart, the double bounce.
So they run into the trip. That gives up the info. They're in garage. What a shock dart. There's 2 Ares on C. How do they hold this site?
Yeah, they've managed to gain a lot of ground here. Sentinels sort of giving the ground to them, not wanting to really be in these close range engagements against the Stingers, so they are forced to play retake. It might actually work out because they're able to peel off some of these players on the extremities and see window and outside of B, leaving just 3 here to defend the site. And Some of them are quite weak here. There goes the push from Sick. Nice work to start things off with. Gets the double. Caboose, though, on the Reyna. That was pretty scary, but still, 2 players will be standing for Sentinels. And I feel like this may be a good time very quickly to address the elephant in the room, Sean, which is if Sentinels lose Bind, given the map advantage that Envy have, there is blowout potential. So there's a huge pressure on Sentinels to win this map as they're supposed to, because we know that Bind will be such a struggle from them. And if they lose, this, and then they lose Bind, well, that's a wrap. So lots of pressure on Sentinels right now.
Yeah, tons of pressure to claw back into this map. Just round by round, they are getting closer. I thought they needed more of a cushion than 2 rounds. If they can claw this to 10-8, with a massive economy advantage, so doable.
This is very scary here. Shazam is seeing a lot of pressure towards A-Long. And I like this reaction here from Sentinels. They're actually trying to push C-Long as well at the same time. They want to know what this pressure is towards A. Is it fake pressure or is it the real deal?
Yeah, and they have Sinatra on B now. They have Trips in Garage in C. They are ready for an A hit. Even though there's 2 players here, they're about as ready as they could be. Sick is going to be quick on the big flank. Sinatra is going to be there as a 3rd. He has a recon charging right now. I would be scared if Envy hit the A site right now, but they're not. They're going back to C. And they might fall into this bait setup. We have a jump spot from back C, and Sick is in a corner. Are they going to clear the corner? I don't think I would clear the corner if I saw a Cypher jump spotting site. Would you, Dan?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not at all.
There it is.
First player found. Sick looking for the next one. He's going to be delivering 2 kills, and I think that's everything he was supposed to do in that position. That's going to slow things down massively. Time is a problem. They have to gain ground, but they can't. Running into the Ares. A quick double from Sinatra is going to silence the push. Now Finesse has a lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it. The spike is well and truly lost down long, so all he can really hope for is economy damage. That's what he's playing for right now. Looking to find some additional frags. He might be able to get something here. Sinatra looking like he really wanted to face that, but Dapper will take down Finesse. And Sentinels, as you said, Sean, really great round. Off of the reset from Envy, Sentinels really prepared well. That C setup was perfect.
Yeah, what a beautiful setup coming out of Sentinels. Yeah, and to maintain holding that during all of the long chaos early round, knowing that Envy is a team that likes to run a slow default, they get map control, and then they do a site hit. It's easy to make the mistake of pushing through too early if you're Sick right there, and he didn't. Dapper with his patented jump peaks, baiting people in. This round's definitely not free. If we've learned anything from this tournament.
Yeah, it's insane because just the lack of comfort in never having economy. Even though Sentinels are winning every round, any one round that they play, their economy could just be wiped out. It's got to be so stressful for them, and I do wonder if they're expecting a change of pace. Envy have had a pretty similar pace in most of these rounds. This would be a good spot for Envy to really jack up the pace. Well, looks like Sinatra's
Sinatra.
Switch up. Oh, what a punish from Crashies.
Wow,
you know
he hits the second. He hits the second.
Oh, charging into the side with the Stingers now talking about the economy. Oh, Fu straight through the smoke. It's going to find Shazam. That's the operator down. I don't think that they have anybody that can pick that up. It's just Dapper who's in heaven, but I don't know that he's going to be able to save that operator. Sick is going to work his way around as well.
Yeah, this is unwinnable, Dan. I think they might try to do damage to Envy's economy a little bit, but they're not winning this round.
They shouldn't be winning this round. They aren't going for it here. Looking to see if they can just get 1 extra kill. Oh, he got actually hit him in the chest. There's a low from Finesse. Now it's Dapper's turn to try to do some economy damage. Let's see if he can find anything else. Man, the white peaks of the Stingers. He knows.
Douglas Apper, you dirty, dirty boy. I can't even believe it. This man just wanted the Cypher diff clip. Puts FNS in the dirt. Made sure he was dead for an extra 15 bullets. But Crashies, we mentioned it earlier in the first half. The impact that he's having on this silver roll.
Yeah.
Incredible. It's actually incredible.
I mean, the mind games of just knowing that Sinatra was going to pop the ult at the start of the round and just waiting to punish him, just knowing the spot he's going to be standing, and then just can punish it. That's just epic stuff there from Envy. 2 rounds away from taking Haven, which would be huge for them. Food now able to make his way through, trying to get really deep on the site, getting that full side control. There's the Omen TP right at the back of the site at the same time. And Sinatra will try to do a little bit of chip damage with that shock dart. This is looking scary. Yeah, full retake is what's necessary here for Sentinels. Sick, though. Able to pick up one. Unable to find Caboose. Is blinded. Shazam's in the action now. Trying to force the issue with the knives in hand. And he's going to be able to pick up one more on the side of the cage. And surely there's got to be a trade for Caboose. Indeed, eventually there will be. But Food here on the flank is able to get one out of it. There comes a challenge. Dapper didn't have to go for that swing. It will be very, very good indeed. And Sentinels hang on by a thread.
They hang on through that round. They get the Phoenix ult out of Food, which he'll have in a couple rounds. So it's really not that big of a deal when you take a Phoenix ult away. But Envy doesn't have a lot to work with. So we could be looking at an 8th round for Sentinels. They're slowly creeping back into this game. And if I were Envy, I would start to feel the pressure. They've been in these scenarios before. They can't close out games when they play these top teams. That dart is so insane. That dart's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, shout out to Average Jonas for that one. I don't know who someone else came up with it, but that's who I landed from. And anyway, we'll have Envy pushing forward in Garage there. Able to do quite a bit. We're just holding on with the Reyna. There's a dismiss out of the action. Resetting the situation. Sick, though. He's savage. He's just going for it. He does not give a damn. Keeps on pushing the issue. And now Finesse will make his way up. He's lurking up that C-long position. Might be able to catch Sinatra off the guard. There it is. Finds him. But now they know precisely where Finesse is. He's not going to pop the ult here. He knows how difficult this is. 8 bullets. He was never going to get much out of that. But Sick, oh man, someone needed to step up. And Sick is coming through clutch every time.
Oh my goodness. This guy got paranoid by a 400 credit flash, Dan. And he decided to go forward and get a kill. This man got hit by a 400 credit flash and still got a kill. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it.
Not giving up any ground. I love it.
None.
Now, it's a scary.
Are they ecoing here, Dan? Like I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. I don't think Envy should eco here, but oh man, they're gonna take attack. They're gonna think about it. Oh, if I'm sitting on Sentinels right now, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good because you have Envy on the ropes. They're taking these tack timeouts. They're clearly scared. Sick has his ult. Shaz on the op. And even if you lose this round, you have another buy in you potentially. I think Sentinels are in a pretty strong spot all of a sudden.
Yeah, it can be good to take these tag timeouts too sometimes to kind of try to cool off your opponents if they're really on a heater as well. We'll see what the play is here from Envy. I mean, as you say, I think anyone who wants a really solid best of 5 here is rooting for Sentinels to win this map. So we'll see if they can bring it through to completion. But every single round is so dangerous. Given how close Envy are, given the fact that Sentinels have never had economy. Even now that they have the best economy that they've had, and it's basically nothing. Drone through Garage from both sides. Sinatra, oh, he's going to get tagged. He's going to be so careful here. You can get sprayed pretty easily. And Sick is just going to run it back straight forward from all the info. Even if he doesn't get anything else in terms of frags, the info is good. He spotted a bunch of players. They know what's going on, but they don't know about the Sova in mid. And Sick is still going to find it anyway. Doesn't matter shot. He just knows.
No way does he get that frag onto Crashies. 1-on-3 now from Moment. This is so doable. He dodges the paranoia. Sick. Who else other than Sick? He's already... Then he just popped his ult. He's already halfway to getting his next one. He's gonna be a good teammate. He's gonna let Solms get this one.
He's sick.
Just kidding. Just kidding. He's coming back in. He's halfway to his next ult. He's gonna get an orb next round.
Why wouldn't you farm Sick, man? You gotta farm every orb for this guy. Look at how much value he gets every time. Seriously, this guy needs something, man.
It's like watching a
something.
Pac-Man.
Sentinel should
This guy
give him
just
a car
eats
or
the
something.
orbs.
All right, well, this is the best the economy has looked ever for Sentinels. It's honestly, I would call it pretty rough still, but I mean, I don't know, at this point it's all relative, I suppose. Stinger Bite comes through. We may get a fast one possibly here, Sean.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to run it down somewhere with all these stingers. And honestly, this is so winnable.
Oh, sick. Oh, he's going to get caught even though he had the blinds there. The couple did actually connect. And work out for him. Caboose very forward ground. This is looking extremely scary right now. However, the B side is very retakeable. You get the running back coming through for food. This is very scary for Dapper. Finds the timing to deal with the running back, but the trade is there from Caboose. That was the setup. Now Caboose is in spawn. He's going to upgrade his weapon. Crashy's there doing damage from behind the dark cover. Sentinels looking like they're in a really bad spot right now. Just one player left. It's Sinatra. We already talked about how bad the eco is for them at the moment, and it's going to get worse. Sinatra, no chance to save his gun. Food hunts him down. That's 12 rounds now for Envy. That is going to be map point for them. Sentinels cannot put a foot wrong at this point.
Yeah, it's actually crazy because all of those people in front of B were blind. And if you were to ask me, like, is this a bad play that Sika's doing? I would say, no, not really. He's kind of getting info, you know? He's just going to jiggle peek for info with this flash. I actually think it's, you know, a smart play. He just gets killed so quickly when he jiggle peeks front B. And look at their money after all those wins, Dan. 2 stingers.
Well, at least they're stingers, I suppose.
That's true.
And of course, got the dark cover there at the end of the A lobby, which is really nice to be able to like lurk up behind and so on. And I think right now Sentinel's really feeling the pressure towards this C side of the map. Hunter's Fury from Crashies is going to connect, but no frag found. It's actually going to be Sinatra, I think, to maybe get a kill here. Oh, he's going to be able to shoot his teammate a little bit. I think Dapper's not going to be happy with that.
Dapper is just getting wrecked by Sova ults this round.
Oh
no.
Sam. This is huge. Oh, this is also huge. Storms needed to find that frag. Sentinels really looking pretty rough at the moment. Caboose in forward position. That recon's going to help a little bit. That does pin down Caboose ever so slightly, but it's still a 1v1. And Sinatra able to run with the Phantom.
What?
And still get the headshot. All right. And now Zom's back by Hell is going to get taken down. That's going to allow Envy to the plant, but no. There comes the shock darts. And that's going to buy extra time here. 3 versus 3. Dapper with the flank takes down Crashies. Food is the only player with health here for Envy. Finesse is so weak, he's barely standing at this point. Still though, finds the quick headshot and Food as well, and that's map 1 in the bag, or map 2 I should say. Envy picking up Haven. That is a lot of pressure now on Sentinels. Envy looking real good.
Oh my god, that last round was insane. I had no idea which way it was going to go. The fight in B site between Caboose and Sinatra was so epic. Envy though, stealing Sentinel's map pick. A map that they're 15-0 on this year. None of us saw that coming. And now they set up 2-0 in a best of 5, going into Bind, a map that Sentinels typically bans. They are definitely in the driver's seat of this series right now. And I'm scared for Sentinels. I mean, surely they prepared for Bind. They knew that this would be happening here. But even if you prepare to do what Envy did just now in Haven, to duplicate that on Bind, you know, as Sentinels, that's a tall order.
Yeah, it's definitely a tall order. At the very least, we saw a lot of life out of Sentinels. They really made that run look like it was very possible. We saw a lot of individual power coming through. So hopefully they can carry that forward to Bind. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about that.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice. And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless? On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
Wow.
Oh, baby. Contrast stitching. Curves that'll hug your body. Adjustable arms. Custom embroidery. Memory foam pillow. Interchangeable color inserts. Lay flat, recline. Removable logos. Soft, durable material. Yeah. You like what you see, baby? Zip chair.
I feel like I need to defend my scene's honor here, because this is just turning into a bit of a dog battle.
Like in groups always look.
I'm cutting you off here. I'm cutting you off. Cutting you off. He said G2's winning it. He said G2's winning it.
We need to wait till the next EU tournament, which could be in about 10 years now.
Take it with like a grain of salt.
No,
but
that's
that
no
being
fun.
said,
Take it super literally.
Spike defused.
The money in the bank.
Hit you with the 808.
Hit you with the.
Welcome everybody back to Valorant Challengers. Okay, all right, Sean. Explain the situation here. We had Sentinels, their streak broken on Haven, and now, what does that mean for the series?
Oh, that puts the series in such a rough spot. Envy really sucked the air out of the room, if I'm being honest. We both envisioned, that map going to Sentinels, us sitting at 1-1, and then we go into Bind. So looking at Bind, looking at Envy statistics in 2021, they are 12-3, right? They're just destroying people in Bind. Sentinels have only played Bind twice this year. And they typically only play it in grand finals where, they don't have a veto. They can't get rid of it. This is the only time they ever play the map. So to say I'm scared that this could end 3-0 would be an understatement. I think even when Sentinels probably prepared for this series, they envisioned themselves winning Haven. I mean, they haven't lost yet this year. So I don't know. I think Sentinels would have to have a crazy game plan. But that's so difficult when you make runs through the lower bracket and, you end so late the night before. How could they possibly have time to create an entire game plan on a map that they don't play against potentially one of the best teams in the NA? We're asking a lot out of them here. It's possible, but this is going to be super difficult for Sentinels.
Yeah, Grand Finals is where the magic happens, and as you guys could see in the clips there, we had some pretty epic plays coming out of Envy. I feel like, if we had food with Trigger Discipline there, it's just funny that, the previous day, the play of the day was Caboose Trigger Discipline on Icebox to murder everybody with the Stinger. So I feel like we're starting to see a pattern here, but maybe Sentinels will be able to break that pattern to dispel the Envy magic, because moving into Bind, as you say, at the very least, Sean, there's not a lot of information on Sentinels, so there is some surprise factor. But whenever I've watched Envy, I've just always been so immensely impressed in how solid they look. It doesn't feel like they ever are playing in a spot where they're ever at a disadvantage. They always seem to find the good rotations, like really well-timed info plays to just make it so that they always have something ready. Kind of like we saw on Haven, actually. Like on the defense, they just seem to always have players in the rotations they needed to be in at the right times.
Yeah, it's similar to how Sentinels operate on Haven, where it seems like when they're on attack, they're always hitting the right side, except for this last match. That's what happens when I watch Envy play Bind. Like, they always get shower control. They're excellent. They always get hookah control. And then they quickly evacuate those areas and hit the other side as their opponents are stacking, where they've shown presence. They are masterminds at moving around the map on an individual level, let alone just looking at their entire team. So, Sentinels is going to start off on defense, and I think that their key to victory here is going to be controlling showers. Will we see Sick on a duelist again? He's had tons of success throughout the tournament. We've seen him on Sage on Bind a lot in the past, a long time ago. Could he possibly bring that back?
We'll have to see. There's a lot to ask here. I am really curious if Sentinels may even try to throw, do they go with comfort or do they try to make things weird? I feel like making things weird is never normally a good option, and it only really shows that a team is really concerned with their position. So I'm hoping we'll get sort of confident picks here. Sentinels is a team that's great at adaptation. Is there any reason in particular why you feel like Bind is a map that doesn't really fit Sentinels very well historically?
There's honestly no reason for it, I guess, other than the fact that when they initially started playing Bind a lot, we would see Zoms playing Brim. He was going against the grain to the largest extreme, right? In the pro scene, everyone was playing Omen on Bind. They were all playing the Omen in U-Haul, and Zoms was playing Brim. And they kind of struggled going against the grain and trying to counter the meta. And now you see he's actually going back to Omen. So I don't know. I kind of actually would have preferred the initial take by them on this map instead of trying to play the same style as everyone else. I mean, Shaz now on the Sova. So this is just, they have such an interesting comp on Bind compared to their other maps, right? They allow Sinastra to play this Raze. They also have Sick on a duelist, and because of that, Sova's just way too impactful on this map. They need a Sova. So then Shazam plays Sova on this map. I just think their roles don't work out on this map the same way they do on the others.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if there's at least any new setups. Envy is the team that's always impressed me with the Bind setups, but again, as you've mentioned, they're obviously a team that really prides themselves on just being very well prepared on this map and finding it to be somewhat of a home ground for them in many senses. One of the things, if I'm casting my mind back to what do I feel like has been successful in, historically for Sentinels on this map, it's usually come out of Sinatra having a good game, and it's come out of, Sick having a good game, and I'm thinking back to when Sick used to play Sage on this map. So, well, a lot of questions to be answered, and it looks like we'll have those answered very shortly as map 3 begins. Info for both sides around B long.
This drone will spot one player. That's actually not that much info, but seeing a Sova in particular is kind of important. Typically, those don't lead the pack.
Sentinels maintaining hookah control for now as well. So that's, even though they lose this, they could lose the site. Having hookah control can be pretty important post-plant when you're going for the retake. I'm actually creeping into the bomb site, and he's going to take down Crashies. That is a huge frag to get. Shazam now causing problems. They're going to rotate through the TP, through to the A site.
Oh my goodness,
However,
Food.
This is kind of desperate.
That said, Food.
Oh, the jump peek from Dapper, almost good. And the frenzy for Food. He's going to convert there, putting it to a 3-on-3. That is going to put Envy to an advantage. They were definitely not looking like they had advantages before that. For the play into U-Haul. This, peeking before the flash comes through, Sean. I'd never like to see that.
Yeah, that was really weird because Zoms even flashed him also.
One enemy remaining.
Zoms gets caught. Nice angle from Caboose, and holding on to U-Haul is Mummy as well. And great conversion from Envy.
Wow.
And it was all about Food, man. It's just that play from Food that just flipped around on his head.
Yeah, the Lurks just had so much confidence on Envy. I think just the fact that Crashies got that far up in sight, even if he didn't collect that frag, likely made Shazam's style of communication when he called, there's a guy in sight, the panic calm. You could tell he was shocked. He couldn't believe it. So he likely panic calmed, caused the rotate to come from A super quickly. They had the cam in U-Haul, but Food cuts through the site, avoids the cam altogether. And what a lurk by Food.
We have to focus around Hookah once again here for Sentinels. Oh,
what?
What is happening? Sick is so confident. It doesn't look real what is happening right now around Hookah, but they will trade out the kills. Sentinels commit fully after those 2 kills. They could have actually reset back.
Look at the ground that Crashies just took, though.
He managed to find his way quite far forward. Still, 2 versus 2. There is the info that one has teleported through
One enemy remaining.
from the A site. Finesse taking down Shazam. They know the Dapper's coming from Hookah. It's going to get spotted out here. It's a pretty challenging position to be in. He's able to find his way onto the site, though. Baiting them by tapping the cage, finding a 1v1. Dapper looking for the clutch here. Sentinels need it, but Finesse will be able to stop the efforts of Dapper.
That was very, very close from Sentinels. Led by the 2 frags coming out of Sick, pushing Hookah. But I want to draw attention to this play by Crashies. I mean, what he did there, his teammates are telling him to push Hookah at the start of the round. His drone spots Shaz, the 3rd B player, from watching the demos of Sentinels. So he accounts for that player deep in spawn. He pulls his knife out and doesn't even look at the site. Doesn't look at Hookah, just runs out to elbow. There's so much knowledge about rotations in a play like that. Insane.
Get a play for Showers control here. It's not really that much that Sentinels can do to stop this with what they had. Zoms it's forced back. He's got to respect the pressure now, and that's the orb being farmed for Food. And they can fall back now, and you can definitely see that the pressure is felt there in the rotation of Sentinels for on the A site, but we'll see Envy resetting here.
Oof. And this is what I was referring to before the game started. Heavy presence shower, Envy got what they wanted. They've evacuated the area, and now they're going back to B. And look what it's done to the rotations from Sentinels. They have 2 players on B, but they're not even in the site. I mean, Envy could technically just walk into the bomb site right now and plant the spike. It would be free.
Oh, God, Caboose He found the perfect timing there, taking down Sick and Zoms. That's going to leave the A site wide open, or at least that's what MV might be thinking. However, Dapper is still here in U-Haul. Oh, he's going to get baited there, looking away just as Caboose peeks him. What a round from Caboose so far. That might be it here, unless Sinatra can find some damage with this forward position. He'd have to do something pretty crazy, but unable to find what he needs. And that's going to leave Shazam in the cold. Nothing for him to do here. The timing of that, Sean, just like Envy slowed the game down so much that Sentinels got completely caught on that info play.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, we both love info plays coming from CS, right? The round breaks down. Envy had massive advantage. They have full map control. They had showers. They're going back to B. 2 players are on B playing outside of the site. So what happens in a scenario like that? Well, you have to get info. You have to know. You have to learn as defense in that scenario that you have to push something. And Caboose is aware of that. He's just so ready for the short A push. Takes both of the players down pushing short A. I mean, once that happens, we both knew the round's over. I mean, the round's over. In the 5-on-3 where the 2 guys push A like this, Dapper's already running back towards B. I mean, this is just so beautiful, too. All Caboose double satchels past everything. They look so polished.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a tough one. We'll get the half buy coming through from Sentinels this round. And definitely can't count them out. They have a 4-man setup towards B, 3 long, 1 hookah at the moment. Just for the start of the round, it seems.
Cage triggered.
Envy with the walk up B long. Teasing the B site right now. Drawing out some utility. That's a good connection, though, with the paint shells onto Caboose. Drone coming through to the A site.
Oof, so Crashy's just cleared out all of those close angles of short A. And Zoms heard that. So he's asking Sick to come back. You can see that's forced 2 players at A. Envy is aware of this, though. They know how this map plays out. You can see they're ready for the hookah push. They know, same scenario as last round. They expect Sentinels to do an information play right now. So they're putting heavy pressure at A and waiting for that information play to come out of hookah.
Oh,
and will they get it? Will they get this aggro out of hookah?
Sinatra, oh, he's so close to taking down Crashies there, but no dice. 2 players very low. There we go. Dapper in with the Bucky. And now he's out with the Bucky just as quickly. Shazam with a double. Oh! Beautiful stuff there on the transfer. Gets his way back into hookah, still alive. Unable to take down Caboose, though. Caboose is so weak at the moment that, in fact, this is very doable for Zoms. Very doable indeed. Crashy's also so low on HP, playing a headshot position. That's definitely how you want to do it when you have low health. Zoms, this is so difficult. So many spots to check, and Crashy's is going to take him down. The headshot spot is going to work out nicely. These rounds, I feel like, are so close.
Shazam with the spray transfer. That was gorgeous. The fact that he connected with all 3 of those kills. I think he sent back the Phoenix ult right there. Unfortunately, I think if he realized Caboose is low there, he probably just challenges him with a classic. But he has no way of knowing that in that scenario. And like you said, I mean, it's a Counter-Strike thing. When you're low HP like that in the mid to late round, find a nice headshot angle, make the person work for the frag on you, make them go for a headshot. And that's exactly what Crashies did.
Typical battle over the hookah position. Not too much utility exchanged. Oh, Caboose. That had to be a pre-fire there. That was so fast. Sinatra's on the angle as well, trying to fight. It's a bad start here for Sentinels once again. There's Fury coming out towards the A side. The execute into the B side, though, at the same time. The battle on top of the bomb site. Sentinels, not too much left to hold on to this with. They're going to have to concede the bomb site for the plant. Sick holding on to elbow control, which is pretty crucial.
This is insane, back, Dan. This is like they're just giving everyone in the scene lessons on how to play bind.
Yeah, it's hard to really, it's hard to beat what Envy are doing right now.
It seems next to impossible. What they did was so smart. right there. They got hookah control, and like you said, I mean, it looked like he just got pre-fired top site. But when you looked at what happened, you saw Food's Molly come in on left side of hookah. You know, they cleared out the right side with the paint shells and the boom bot, and it's the only place that you can put your crosshair in that scenario is top site if you do exactly what Envy just did. And then meanwhile, Crashies is solo Sova ulting the A site. I mean, he's definitely going to keep 2 players at A in a 4-on-2, a 4-on-5. I'm sorry, a 4-on-5. He's keeping 2 players at A. It's like they're just so far ahead of Sentinels so far this map.
Yeah, really great clear coming through to U-Haul as well. Preventing any peeks as they try to take the fights on the site, but it's Soms with the stinger. Taking down one, lightening the load, and that Sentinel still holding on to Uka just barely. The Sound Qs though going through the cage. Sinatra is going to get taken out. 3 versus 4 retake here now for Sentinels. Oh god, it's a Bucky from heaven. I don't know about that one. Yeah, this is looking rather grim once again for Sentinels. Wall comes through though to create a line to get out from heaven. And Dapper's found his way with the Bucky to more favorable ranges. Stinger coming through first. He actually pulls out the classic, knowing that he can't really fight from those ranges with the Bucky. Oh, Shazam's stuck in a corner too. It does, doesn't it? 6-0. It's going the way of Haven so far.
Oof. Okay, well, Envy has come to play today, Dan. That's what I've learned so far.
They're not messing around.
They are definitely not messing around so far in these finals. The way they've started these 2 maps is unlike anything I've seen when, you know, the top teams play each other in the finals. They are just blowing Sentinels out so far. This is a sight to see. This is really impressive.
Yeah, they're swinging hard, right? But it doesn't seem like any warm-up was necessary for them. Nice trades from Sick, though. That's what Sentinels need. Got the spike in market as well. They're actually pushing for spike control, possibly here. And Envy on the other side of the map are picking up the kills, so it's really down to the B players to try to win these fights. And now it's just down to Sick. He's going to have to ace to clutch this round now for his team. Oh, he just barely misses the frag there. That could have been a huge pickup. 10 bullets before he has to give away his position on a reload. And, well, might as well reload after this. Maybe not. This is so dangerous right now.
This is so difficult for Sig. Oh, that made it way more doable.
Finding a timing. Sees one backside. Knows one has to be Hookah. You can see he's looking for the trade.
Jesus. Damn.
7-0.
I mean, they're just so good. They're just so good at reacting to the information that they see on the map, right? And that's what I'm trying to convey right now to the viewers is Sentinels double push out Hookah. And if you watch from Food's point of view, I don't even know if he saw Shazam push down long B, but just the idea to throw a flash around that corner, I mean, he only has 2. Think about all the corners that are going to come after that. They're so aware of what's coming next. And Crashy's just walking out of shower all by himself.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Sinatra with the showstopper. They're trying to make a play, trying to just get lucky, really. But unfortunately, Envy were in a position to be able to escape that. The trip as well helping out to stop Sinatra dead in his tracks. And now Sentinels start off this round 3 against 5 after they've burned that showstopper. Oh, making matters worse. The neural theft comes through. Everything is known by Envy at this point. They can make perfect rotations.
They're smoked out of the site. They can't get in.
Oh, wow. It's so difficult. Sick there. Flashing his way forward. Food on the other end of things, though, by Cubby. They can play bait here. Someone can bait for Food. Oh, that's a big recon, though. That's going to deal with Food, but
no way.
What?
No way.
Well, Crash is going to deal with Food, I suppose, but...
Yeah, I was like, wait, 4 people alive and it was a flawless? Like, what? Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I have no faith, Dan. I have no faith. I need you to give me the faith.
I can't do it, man. I don't know how. What do we have to work with here so far for Sentinels? There's been very little. I mean, if they can scrap together a few rounds, you know, you can try to put some stock in their attacking side being better, because they can, you know, on the attacking side you get to dictate the pace, but the problem is if you don't have any rounds to buffer to work with, no margin of error, it's hard to really do those conditioning plays, those defaults as effectively.
And so far, Sentinels have gotten Shower every single round, and that continues here. Even though they took out Crashies, the trade from FNS means Zoms has to stay there. There's 3 people on Sentinels defending long B, and they have to fall back to the site. I mean, they fought this and they have nothing for it. Actually, I think Envy's going to go into them. This could go really bad for Envy.
There's a wall. And the play through, right through the wall. Finesse is a madman, sacrificing himself perhaps to keep his teammates alive. Noble effort, and Sinatra able to win the battle there towards Hookah. And in fact, there is now no passage for the Spike to arrive onto the site. And there's plenty of time for some assistance from Sinatra to arrive to help out Zoms on A. And the whole map is now locked down.
Sinatra is actually still, to this very second, shooting Mummy's body right now outside of Hookah.
30 seconds left.
I hear the judge sound through my headphones. He's definitely shooting the body outside of Hookah. I'm staring at radar. Yeah. Oh, man.
I hope it helps, man.
I hope so too. I hope so too. We need an 8-4 for this to even be a game. This is insanity. What? But that was a very clever play again coming out of Envy. They go 3 up long. They teleport out. Honestly, I think against other teams, Mame probably gets the lurk kill on Sinatra inside Hookah, which is probably why Sinatra was like, "You're not fooling me, man. I know you lurkers just creep around the map."
There's a drone out for that information short B. Oh, aggression on Showers. Oh, you don't want to see that. That's painful. Oof. It's hard to find words for that. Crashies, filled with confidence, is going to make his way forward. Zam is holding onto U-Haul still, so there is some hope if he can hold on to this position. Maybe get a frag out of it. This is looking quite difficult, but there you go. That's kind of the maneuver you want to see from Shazam. He's working on the third, but Sinatra with that judge. Oh, there are guns, I think, for him to collect, but I don't know if that's the fight. The double peek there is going to deal with Sinatra. Do you sense some tilt, Sean? Do you see it anywhere?
I don't know. The smell of defeat is just so strong in the air, Dan. That's all that I can... That's all my senses are picking up right now. It's just this is such a difficult battle if Sentinels want to end up clawing back this map. I mean, they're down 0-2 in a best of 5, 9-1 on defense side of Bind, a map they don't even play. I mean, this has to be a wake-up call for them to start practicing this map.
Yeah, I'm really loving what I'm seeing out of Envy. We get the showstopper play with the satchel straight through. Can't quite find the movement he's looking for, Caboose.
But look at this, man. They're all A. And Zoms is here all by himself. They've done it again. Like, they're ahead at every turn. And the drone's going to tag him. And he's going to die in the site. And they're going to take the site. Now Shaz is here all by himself.
It's pretty tough here, Shazam. It's going to have to be falling back slightly here. Needs his teammates to get in behind him. There we go, Sinatra with the boombot. That's going to help them use some more ground on this retake. Great stuff there from Sinatra. The judge is the tool for the job. They're clearing out U-Haul. And here we go.
They're back. They're back. They're back.
Oh, man. Dapper is sending the message. I don't know what the message is, but I know that there's a message being sent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the message would involve. You might need to send over some of those claws.
Oh,
claws
man.
that he loves so much.
Okay, you said 4 rounds. What about 3 rounds, Sean? Can I?
Nah, no deal. I'm putting the switch down. No deal. Can we go back and give them 4? Boombot coming in Hookah. These guys are going long. I actually do believe Sentinels can come back though. They do need the pistol.
So droning up long, there's only one man there. Nice play from Sinatra, falling back. Perfect timing. Oh, all over the place here. The Hunter Shuri popped there into the site. Lots of pressure coming through. Able to defend, though, just for a moment. Shazam deals with the run it back, but 3 versus 4 here for Sentinels. It's not a great look, but Dapper still at the back of the site. We know how important these positions are. There's the tease, though. Dapper, the flick's got to be good, and it is just good enough. Neural Theft comes through for the info. Zoms might be able to finish things off here. Back haul, but no. Still Food alive and kicking there. The curveball to protect himself. The Nest out of the cage, able to do more damage as well. Sinatra now in the clutch. They need this round desperately. Trying to fake, but he's running long. Cam, though, is going to give them all the info they need.
When Fraggy gets his ult in, if he finds his connection on either player, it's so doable.
One backside. Trying to get somebody to peek him here. He needs that info desperately. Oh, the satchel through. Oh, Sinatra can't get it done. As crazy as he is, and a crazy player is required, doesn't work out this time. 2 rounds is all that Sentinels again have to work with at the end of the first half. We'll have to see if that's going to be enough for a comeback at the end of this break.
Back down, so step it up.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, I hope you are all sending your energies to Sentinels right now because they need it. They are in a desperately bad position. Not a map they play. This is, of course, the map that if Envy win, then they win. This is best of 5. They are the grand final champions here. And I don't know what hope lies here for Sentinels, but we're going to try to find it here. Off the start with a pistol. You said, Sean, they need it. What is the setup here for them?
Oof. You can see Sick is just waiting outside of showers right now. I mean, he's behind a smoke, and I believe there's a cam above him that FNS put there. This is going to be an A hit, but there's 3 players waiting for Envy. Probably a paranoia coming from you all. There it is. Oh, God.
A lot of utility thrown in there to defend. It's so chaotic. I have no idea what's going on towards U-Haul at the moment. However, Finesse at the back of the side with the classic. Oh, that's really good pistol work there from Finesse. He picks up a second one as well. 3 versus 3 here. The health is definitely favoring Envy at this point, and the now the player numbers as well. Crashies does get caught, though. That could change the fortune here for Sentinels. Still, really weak. Don't have a way out of position onto the spike plant, though. That's the main issue here. As I say that, Sinatra is finding his way through the spawn. Might be able to get an angle up heaven.
That's an
but
insane
still Dapper's
lurk.
stuck.
Yeah, because now he knows no one's in spawn. it's odd that Envy doesn't, or Sentinels doesn't take this opportunity to actually go spawn to B. But they're going to stick around.
Oh my god, down to 1 HP. The hot hands. Oh no, Food is going to take down the spike. I don't know if Sinatra can even get there in time. He's got to find a way to plant the spike, but I don't know that there's time to plant it and pull his gun out. He's going to have to get the frag immediately, but Food takes him down. Oh, that's so insane. I think had he not, been clear of that showers angle, maybe he could have survived the hot hands long enough to get the spike down, but...
Wow. I thought that was such an insane play by Sinatra to push spawn like that, grab that ground. If the spike were to go down, I mean, suddenly that turns into a favorable scenario for Sentinels. But the hot hands in shower coming out of Food, I mean, that just... You cannot be prepared for that with 14 seconds left. That's... Wow.
Envy looking like they're on the fast track to winning this best of 5. Army coming out there with Caboose, and it is just a bloodbath here. Such a force of a show of force, I should say, with those stingers steamrolling Sentinels in short B.
It is a matter of time now. Envy just looks so good in this series. This is insane. The difference between these two teams in this series is something I never thought I would see in a grand finals.
Yeah.
I am thoroughly impressed with Envy's performance here today. And I see no way that Sentinels can come back in this 12-2 scoreline. This is just so difficult. The way they even approach rounds is so different from how Envy won rounds last half. I mean, look at this. They're all stacked in one area.
And they're just going through there, through the TP, trying to make it happen. They're using the confidence. We'll be able to do some extra damage here. It's a crazy flurry of trades. And it's just going to be one left here. It's Food, but he's been owning everyone so far in this matchup. He's got that stinger. He's just filled to the brim with confidence. The flash goes through. He doesn't care. They're so far ahead right now. He does not care. Looking to try to finish it off here with the stinger. And it almost happened, man. Almost happened. But it's one round.
He's looking for ammo, Dan. There's no more ammo.
Oh no, they gotta get 9 in a row. Food has 25 kills.
Ironically, I think Sentinels have shot more bullets into the dead bodies of Envy than the alive bodies of Envy so far this game.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, well, Sentinels, it's not over till it's over. 2 judges, Bulldog. Life ain't good right now for Sentinels. Some info. Crashy's looking for some damage, more info. Just the pressure from Crashy's is really great at the moment.
Also owned him.
Sinatra 1 away from Showstopper. There's the satchel play straight into the site. The Nest, great tracking there. Nest looking really confident. Oh man, Nest doing even more damage. Sentinels, their duelists have been taken down on the entry. This is where it could all end here for Sentinels. Dapper creeping forward, but the setup here from Envy is fantastic. There's no way in. Food protecting Finesse. 5 versus 2 now. Make that 5 versus 1. Zoms has to have the clutch of his life to win this one. And just look at the disrespect coming from Crashies. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough, and that's going to be a wrap. Envy taking the grand finals, the best of 5 grand finals in a 3-0 sweep. Envy are your Valorant Champions Tour North America Stage 1 Challengers 2 champions, Sean. It's a mouthful, but Envy deserve it. They are so formidable.
Hats and away. They're by far the best team in this tournament. And we thought that going into First Strike, they had such a good chance to win it. So it's good to see them bounce back so far this year, pick back up where they left off and finally close out, a big series against Sentinels. Just destroyed them today. Destroyed them on a map that they don't play in Haven and then Bind. I mean, typically they probably won't get that Bind pick when they play Sentinels. It's weird because we wouldn't get either map in a best of 3, but here we had both of them today. And I think Sentinels needs to go back to the drawing board on Bind. If they're going to be one of these, top 2-3 teams in NA, which they are, they're going to have to play this map in the finals. They're going to have to play it. So time to start practicing bind if you're a Sentinels player, and nothing but good things to say about Envy after today. I mean, this was an annihilation. This was insane.
It really was. And I think a lot of people, and Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard it from a lot of the pros, people were considering Sentinels the best in North America right now. But the way Envy have played, only losing one map, and it was only to Sentinels this entire bracket, it feels like Envy are just well on the way to just really solving a lot of the issues that they had in terms of that consistency. It is just this one tournament so far that's looked so insanely dominant from them. But do you see Envy now as the best in North America?
I think they're certainly close. And I mean, that's because when you watch them play Split, they're a top team. When you watch them play Ascent, they're a top team. When you watch them play Bind, like we just saw, they're clearly a top team. So that's 3 out of the 5 maps. I mean, they just need to clean up their Haven a little bit. And if you watch against Sentinels, it looked really good. There's probably tons of anti-strats in there, so I wouldn't take much from that game. But add one more out of the 2 maps into their pool, this is the best team in NA. Like, they are playing some amazing Valorant, and I think they nailed the roles with all the players. They're in such a good spot moving forward.
Yeah, Sentinels, you know, they're normally a team in these grand finals where I feel like they're maybe one of the best teams to make things scrappy, to kind of bring the game maybe back into their hands, but just making it really chaotic, playing those mid rounds. But Envy seems so well-rounded in every part of the game that they never looked like there was a spot where they were out of control, and they always had a setup ready for more or less anything. So it's crazy to see the kind of development they've made. I know we've got an interview coming up. I should be with Caboose from Envy, so I'm really looking forward to getting some of his thoughts on how Envy have managed to be so dominant and what they've been working on, because they are looking so next level right now.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly they've gotten here, right? Since adding Food and Crashies, they just, you know, leapfrogged over a dozen teams into like the top 5.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a quick look at the sweet play of the day before we continue that discussion. Let's soak in some of the awesome action. I imagine we're going to see that trigger discipline play coming through again. It's been something that indeed has been. I mean, Food is a great person to highlight for today as well, just in general, because he's been incredibly impressive. Like, you know, you mentioned it before, you know, Sean, Food. Sorry, you're talking about how good Crashies is. And Food and Crashies are kind of one of these kind of dynamic duos that kind of came up. They were there together in T1 and have continued to be a duo that's so reliable.
Yeah, this lurk from Food is so insane, man. So insane. Food, I think he's really proving the doubters wrong, right? Once he was removed from T1, he had so many haters coming into Envy. Envy didn't seem like it was as big of a brand in Valorant. That's all changed now. No one even remembers the past when, you know, Food and Crashies came from T1. This is now, you know, the team that they're gonna make their legacy on. It seems like Crashies is out of control on this overall. I mean, the way he's blossomed as a player, we said it during the cast. I can't say it enough. I mean, they've nailed the roles across their entire team. They have the Sentinel in FNS. Very few teams are constructed perfectly, in my opinion. And, you know, these guys, and I would say like 100 Thieves, are kind of in that zone where, because of how their teams are constructed, I have a lot of faith on them moving forward and just how they approach all of the constant changes to the meta.
Well, with that said, Sean, it's time to bring Caboose into the discussion for a post-match winners interview. All right, Caboose.
Hi guys, how's it going?
What is up, man?
Caboose was
Feeling
on
good.
the loose. Sheesh. Sheesh.
Well played, man. That was I don't even know how to define that grand finals. You guys completely stomped Sentinels. It didn't look like there was any moment of doubt. How was that grand finals for you? Did that go as you expected?
Definitely not as expected. Beating Sentinels the first time, you know, they looked solid. They looked like they were playing up to their level. And then when they went to the lower bracket, it looked like they leveled up even harder. So we were definitely looking forward to like an insane rematch here. And I definitely think that we just came out swinging today and maybe a bit of an off day for them.
Yeah, it seemed like they struggled to get a footing. I think the first thing that me and Sean really noticed on Haven was how there seemed to be maybe some anti-stratting in there, but you guys seem to make, I think, perfect reads on their what they were doing on their attacking side time and again. Was that anti-stratting, or was it just you guys just know this team so well?
So kind of going into what Dan said, I think the first gun round you pushed C, you saw Zombs on top of the box, and then there was like 3 people on A. You read that, or actually the first round was the B round, you guys read perfectly. Then the second round was this round at A, and then the third round was C, and you guys just constantly were reading them perfectly. You had 3 people in every site they hit. So like, do you have any insight to the communication? Like what gave you guys those reads?
It wasn't so much as anti-stratting. We didn't really like hard anti-strat them. We kind of just went in playing our game. And Haven is one of those maps where we haven't really practiced it as much. It's kind of like one of our pocket picks. And we're really good, I think, on this map on defensive side is being proactive. You know, when we lose information, we retake it somewhere else. We try to get that early info, trade utility well. You know, if they use their dart, we communicate. You know, they're not going to hit a site if they don't have their dart up, if they have no omen flash. So we kind of take an aspect, everyone we've seen, all the specific agents and what ability they use, and we try to find space on the map that we think is open. And today it worked really well for us. We found a lot of good timings and took a lot of map control without them realizing we had it.
It worked pretty damn well. Sentinels looked really flustered there on Haven, and then obviously it's kind of crazy because going into Bind, of course, it really feels like that's such a huge weakness for Sentinels. Like, were you guys feeling like if you won Haven, that the series might just be over? It must have been additional pressure on having a performance on Haven.
Yeah, we are kind of, my mindset going into it, at least, knowing we don't really play much Haven, is we're playing a BO3, and if we lose the first map, it doesn't count. So we didn't really mind too much on Haven, and we got off on a strong start. Felt really confident. And then going into Bind, you said Sentinels don't play it as much, and they don't really play it much anymore. It's actually like they're banned now. And that's always been really confusing to me because they've always been, in my eyes, one of the best Bind teams. So that's like a ban they've been doing recently. So I knew even though they didn't play it, they would still have a game plan on it on Bind. So I wasn't like blowing them out of the water on it. I think they could still play a good game on it. So
awesome.
And, like how ready were you guys to go in down to the wire on like Icebox? Because you guys ended up picking Icebox over Ascent, right? That's last map. You guys chose that.
Yeah. So Icebox is something. The final 3 maps in the pool, the Bind, Split, Icebox, is kind of like our comfort ground. You know, we pick these maps when we go into BO3s, especially Split. So the veto went a little weird. They actually picked Split into us, giving us a side choice. I thought that was a little weird because they know we always pick Split. We'll always take the fight, and they can kind of get free defender side. So the end of the veto is a little weird. I'm surprised that they took the Split route. I think they kind of just wanted to like get in our heads, have like an early attack side start, and kind of just snowball from there. But didn't get to those maps, so I'm not too sure. But definitely interesting for the veto.
Well, I think that's all we have time for. Thank you so much, Kavuse, for just joining us for a quick post-match chat. Do you have any shout-outs to end things with?
Shout out to Envy, awesome org. Super glad to represent them. My teammates as well. We've been working really hard. I'm really proud of all of them. So yeah, thank y'all, all the supporters, all the fans. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Kavuse.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, Sean, I feel like this team is really developing into something pretty special. A lot of potential has been known for a while. Had a lot of lineup switches, but it feels like they're really hitting well with this particular team.
They really are, and I can't say enough how positive I am about the future of them, because they've shown the ability to switch off of agents really well, change their game plan, change their style, change which weapons they like buying, where they like buying. They change anything according to the meta to get edges. And any team that's willing to do that is going to be very successful in Valorant, because there's going to be a lot of changes thrown your way between the new agents, the new maps, the changes to the guns. It's still so early into this game that you should not expect a year down the road for the game to feel like it feels right now. So you have to be able to adapt. And Envy does a great job of that.
Yeah, and securing that place in Masters as well. We have still 4 teams, of course, to find out who will be joining them in Masters, which so excited for that. It's right around the corner, and so make sure that you guys are marking your calendar. The next tournament here, so you can find out the stage 3 who's going to make that top 4 spot, and it's going to be exciting. And looking forward to seeing how the storylines continue, the rivalries, continue. But that is going to be all from myself and Sean for today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for Nursery Gamers for doing such a great job with the production. And thank you to all of you at home once again. We'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.